breaking down one of the absolute most anticipated high-stakes football clashes of the 2026 World Cup. I mean, the sheer drama of this Group I match between France and Senegal at a packed MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. It was literally a masterclass in modern international tournament football. Whether you're a hardcore tactician trying to figure out how to crack a disciplined low block, or you just live for the sheer theater of the World Cup and how teams handle immense historical pressure, the way this game unfolded is absolutely fascinating. Now, to truly grasp the gravity of this matchup, we absolutely have to talk about the ghosts of 2002, right? Because 24 years ago, the footballing world was just totally stunned when debutantes Senegal shocked the defending champions France in the opening match of the tournament. And that historical baggage, that heavy psychological weight, it wasn't just some footnote. It was carried all the way into this 2026 rematch. Both of these nations know exactly what was on the line. It wasn't just your standard, routine group stage game. It was a battle against history itself, set perfectly under the bright lights of New Jersey. The pressure on the French squad to prevent history from repeating itself was palpable from the very first whistle.
Act 1. A tactical chess match.
Let's slow things down for a second and look at the opening for the 45 minutes, because they were defined by this incredible, suffocating tension. Every single pass was heavily scrutinized. Every positional shift was calculated. France did what France traditionally does best, right? They controlled possession, patiently trying to pull the strings from the midfield to unlock the game. But Senegal deployed an unbelievably disciplined defensive block. Now, what's really interesting here is how veteran Kalidou Koulibaly put on a total masterclass in defense at the absolute heart of it all. He marshaled this unyielding wall, maintaining an incredibly compact shape across the backline, and relentlessly cutting off those central passing lanes that Kylian Mbappé usually exploits. It completely neutralized the potent French attack for the entire first half, forcing them into harmless, wide areas. 0. That was the number on the scoreboard for both sides when the ref finally blew the whistle for halftime. A tense, anxious 0-0. And I want to let that 0 hang for a second, because in tournament football, context is everything. For Senegal, this 0 was a massive triumph of discipline, structure, and sheer willpower. They were executing their game plan flawlessly. But for France, it represented this growing, dangerous frustration. You could almost hear those ghosts of 2002 getting louder in the stadium. But, this 0 was kind of deceptive. It provided a false sense of security, acting like a quiet lull before an impending tactical storm. Act 2. The breakthrough. Okay, so this is where that slow, methodical, tactical stalemate we just looked at abruptly transitions into pure, unadulterated drama. Keep this rapidly escalating timeline in mind as we map out the explosive second half. Because as the match wore on, fatigue naturally started setting into the Senegalese legs. That defensive block that was so watertight earlier started showing these microscopic fractures. And from the 66th minute all the way to a frantic 96th minute, the game just shifted into absolute overdrive, delivering sudden twists, brilliant tactical masterstrokes from the dugout, and monumental historical milestones that completely changed the complexion of the tournament. So, the deadlock is finally broken in the 66th minute, and the magic number to remember here is 57. After a super tense, breathless VAR review check, the whole stadium seemed to hold a collective breath, France's talismanic captain, Kylian Mbappé, fires the Blues ahead with a ruthlessly clinical finish. You could practically see the sigh of relief from the French bench. But this wasn't just any opening goal to relieve the mounting pressure. It carried massive historical weight. With that strike, Mbappé netted his 57th international goal. That number is huge because it drew him perfectly level with Olivier Giroud as France's joint all-time top goal scorer. The pressure was off and history had been matched. So the crucial point is what happens next, because it perfectly highlights how a world-class manager capitalizes on a shift in momentum. In the 82nd minute, manager Didier Deschamps makes a vital tactical tweak. Sensing the heavy fatigue in the Senegalese defense, he turns to his bench to inject pure pace, bringing on substitute Bradley Barcola. Almost instantly, Adrien Rabiot uses his superb vision to carve open the newly created space with a perfectly weighted through ball. And those fresh legs pay instant dividends. Barcola latches onto the pass, shows ice-cold composure, and delicately lifts the ball right over the oncoming keeper Edouard Mendy. Just like that, it's 2-0. A brilliant, clinical sequence where a managerial masterstroke is executed flawlessly on the pitch. Act 3. Stoppage time madness. Now, with a staggering 8 long minutes of added time going up on the fourth official's board, the game looked totally dead and buried. France had total control. But as we know, the World Cup always yields twists, and out of absolutely nowhere, Senegal finds a lifeline. In the 95th minute, an 18-year-old sensation, Ibrahim Mbaye, creates a moment of pure magic. Showcasing immense strength and power that completely defies his age, the teenager drives right past the seasoned French defense, refuses to go down, and somehow manages to slip the ball past goalkeeper Mike Magnin. The scoreboard flashes 2-1. The stadium absolutely erupts. The Senegal fans go totally wild. And once again, those whispered ghosts of 2002 returned as this incredible young teenager seemingly brought his country back from the dead to set up a frantic, desperate finale. But wow, Senegal's hope lasted barely a minute. And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer, unyielding ruthlessness of the French captain. Straight from the ensuing kickoff, France advances. The ball immediately finds its way to Kylian Mbappé just outside the box, showing exactly why he's universally considered the most lethal forward on earth. Mbappé unleashes a stunning long-range rocket straight into the top corner. 3-1. It was a 60-second emotional whiplash, an absolute punch that utterly crushed Senegal's hopes and silenced the comeback narrative in the blink of an eye. He took the emotional high of the opposition and instantly turned it to dust.
Section 4. Making history.
Let's move to and see how this builds, right? Because we need to take a collective breath and zoom out from that stoppage time madness. Beyond the frantic finish and the crucial 3 points secured for Les Blues to open their campaign, the night belonged to one permanent number, 58. By burying that final breathtaking strike from outside the box, Kylian Mbappé didn't just seal the match, he etched his name permanently into the record books. He officially surpassed the tie with Olivier Giroud that we discussed earlier. Mbappé is now France's outright all-time leading goalscorer. It is a true masterclass in finishing, consistency, and showing up when the lights are at their absolute brightest. So, what does this all mean? Well, it leaves us with this final, thought-provoking reality. With historical greatness firmly established and the national scoring record shattered on night one of a dramatic 3-1 victory, what is Kylian Mbappe's ultimate ceiling in this World Cup? More importantly, if you're an opposing manager, how exactly do you game plan against a player who can single-handedly shatter a defensive masterclass and crush a miraculous comeback narrative in just 60 seconds? If he is capable of achieving this level of ruthless dominance in the very first group stage game, his ultimate tournament legacy might be something we've literally never seen before. It's a fascinating tactical and historical question to take away from this explainer. Thanks for joining me to break down this incredible match, and as always, keep learning.